The United States has outlined a new strategy involving Venezuela's oil sector, focusing on production, investment, and control over revenue from oil sales. The plan was publicly described by former U.S. President Donald Trump and links economic objectives with broader energy market goals. According to the announcement, the proposal centers on managing the proceeds generated from Venezuelan oil sales. Under this approach, the United States would oversee how revenue from oil exports is handled. The plan is presented alongside efforts to increase oil production within Venezuela, signaling a push to expand output rather than restrict it. The strategy is tied to discussions between political leadership and major oil industry figures. Trump stated that a recent meeting with oil executives resulted in commitments to large-scale investment. These commitments are described as reaching into the hundreds of billions of dollars and are directed toward oil drilling and production projects. The emphasis of the discussions was on accelerating development in the oil sector through coordinated investment and management. Multiple parties are involved in this initiative. On one side is the United States, acting through political leadership and in coordination with private oil executives. On the other side is Venezuela, whose oil resources and production capacity form the foundation of the plan. Oil industry leaders play a central role by providing the financial backing needed for drilling and expansion projects. The announcement did not specify a precise location for the implementation of the plan beyond Venezuela itself, nor did it provide a timeline for when production increases or revenue control would begin. However, the plan was described as following a recently concluded meeting with oil executives, suggesting that the discussions and agreements are recent. The stated objective of the initiative is to generate economic benefits for both countries. For Venezuela, the focus is on increasing oil production and attracting substantial investment into its energy sector. For the United States, the plan is positioned as a way to gain financial returns from oil sales while also influencing global oil supply levels. One of the expected outcomes highlighted is a reduction in global oil prices. The rationale presented is that higher oil production from Venezuela, supported by large-scale investment, would increase supply in the global market. Increased supply is expected to place downward pressure on prices, affecting energy costs beyond just the two countries directly involved. The plan also reflects a broader approach that combines economic and strategic considerations. By linking revenue management with production expansion, the initiative seeks to shape oil market dynamics while advancing national economic interests. This approach has been described as a form of economic diplomacy, where financial incentives and resource management intersect with international relations. The role of oil executives is central to this effort. Their financial commitments are described as a key driver of the plan's viability. The investments are intended to support drilling projects and infrastructure development required to raise production levels. These investments are framed as mutually beneficial, offering potential returns for investors while supporting broader economic goals. At this stage, the current status of the plan remains at the announcement and agreement level. While investment commitments have been described, the details of execution, regulatory processes, and operational control were not outlined in the provided material. No information was given on how revenue management would be structured or which mechanisms would be used to oversee oil proceeds. What is clear from the announcement is the intended direction. The strategy aims to align political leadership, private industry investment, and oil market influence into a single framework. The plan positions oil production as both an economic tool and a lever for affecting global energy PR.